This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Good morning, everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Bruchim Haba. We continue in Mishna Berura, Daf Hashavua. We're learning Siman Daled. We're up to Sif Yud Daled. Last week in Sif Yud Gimel, we learned about somebody's up the whole night. There's a suffix regarding Neigel Vasser. Is there a Ruach Ra if somebody's up the whole night? And there's a suffix regarding the Tiferes Yadayim, because even though according to the Rashba you're a Berura Kadosh, but according to the Rosh you were up, and therefore you didn't touch yourself, and therefore there's no Indian of Yadayim Askani as him. The Mishna Berura's Eitzah is, if you're up the whole night, you go to the bathroom in the morning. Rabbi Yeager pointed out that the Sfardim do not follow that recommendation. In other words, even if you do go to the bathroom, that would not be sufficient to be able to say Tiferes Yadayim according to the Sfardim. And Rabbi Vadia also concurs that the minhag of the Sfardim is not like the recommendation of the Mishna Berura. Okay, Sif Yud Daled. Hishkim koidem Amar HaShachar. Let's say you woke up before Amar HaShachar, v'nat al yadav, and you washed your hands. So the thing is, you remove the Ruach Ra, and also you perhaps already washed your hands for davening. Yesh l'stapek im tzarich litol yadav pam acheres is a suffix. If you need to wash your hands another time, kisheyar hayoim, at alois hashachar. Why? Lahave ruach hara hashar yadam, to remove the ruach ra that resides on the hands, because maybe by Amar HaShachar the ruach ra returns. Haggah, says Rama, v'yitleim b'loi bracha, wash them without a bracha. Says the Mishna Berura, k'sheyar hayoim, ki yesh omrim, some say the ba'amar HaShachar, then the morning choyzer ruach ra l'shes pam shenis, the ruach ra comes again. Now, so then the question would be, let's say somebody gets up early to say slichos, and they wash their hands before the slichos, and then after slichos it's daybreak. Do they have to wash their hands again? Absolutely. Do you have to wash your hands in the middle of slichos? In other words, like you're in the middle of slichos, and you have vayikra, and then you see that the clock, it's 5 a.m. and now it's alois hashachar. You have to run out and wash Neigel Vasser. So Rosh Zalman says that you do not have to run out in the middle of the slichos, and Reb Chaim Kanievsky concurs. You don't have to be makbid not to go dalet amos. You don't have to be makbid not to touch your eyes. That inyan is only in the nighttime. But in here, where you already washed your hands, and there's a suffix on the return of the ruach ra, it doesn't come with all the chumras. Okay. Now, why in Sif Yud Daled does the Mechaber say we have a suffix whether you have to wash your hands to remove the ruach ra, and he does not say there's a suffix whether you have to wash your hands again for tefillah? It sounds like for tefillah you definitely don't have to wash your hands again. The only shaila is you have to wash your hands for the ruach ra. Says the Mishna Berura of Katan Lamed Beis, Lahaver Hacha loy nakat lehispalal k'mashikasav Sif Yud Gimel. Here, the Mechaber doesn't have a double suffix. In other words, in Sif Yud Gimel, the Mechaber had a double suffix. Do you have to wash your hands for Neigel Vasser, or do you have to wash your hands for Tiferes Yadayim? But here, the Mechaber only has a single suffix. Do you need to wash your hands for Neigel Vasser? Why? Devadai mishum tefillah tzarich v'zo'irav ham litol yadayim. To wash your hands for davening, you don't have to wash again. Va'afilu, why? He says, Va'afilu m'chazar v'yashin pam shenis koidem Amar HaShachar, even if you go to sleep again. Debezeh bevadai tzarich mishum ruach ra, that in this instance you definitely have to because of ruach ra. Oira pam litol yadayim, mikol makom eina yachal levarech al Tiferes Yadayim. You cannot make a bracha on the Tiferes Yadayim. Va'afilu im hashena hoysa shnas kava, even if you went back to sleep for an hour and a half. Why? Why would there not be a suffix here whether you need to wash your hands for Tiferes Yadayim? Mishayeir hayoim. So let's think about it outside for a moment. You already washed your hands. Your hands are clean for davening. You were mekayim the Rosh Yadayim Askani Yasem. You were mekayim the Rashba Berura Chadasha. So you definitely do not have to wash your hands for tefillah. What if I go to sleep a shenas keva and I have the Sarav Yadayim Askani Yasem? I definitely did not have the Rashba, the Anu Choishish and Lashitas HaRashba, the Sfirle de Tam Netila, Mishum de Abayka Nasa Berura Chadasha. Upam achas nasa ha'adam berei chadash. What are you, a cat? You have 9 lives? You become a berei chadash, a 1 time a day. V'lo shtei pamim. Umishum ruach ra bilvad lo tiknu bracha. And for ruach ra alone, they're not messiahing bracha. Okay, I just want to point out a ha'ara on this Mishnah Berura. But still, isn't there a suffix whether you have to wash your hands in the morning for tefillah? According to the Rosh, I don't, because I already did before Alois HaShachar, and nothing changed at Alois. And according to the Rashba, also I don't, because I was already a Berei Chadash and I already washed for that. In other words, in the case of the Mechaber, you don't have to wash for tefillah both according to the Rosh and according to the Rashba. It's just if I go back to sleep, then there's a suffix if I have to wash for tefillah. According to the Rashba, not. According to the Rosh, yes. But I wouldn't make a bracha. The Mechaber doesn't say he has a suffix, because in the Mechaber's case, he didn't go back to sleep. Now, beloy bracha. You're going to wash in the morning. Again, here's a guy, he gets up 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. I see some of you guys that are there, you early risers. So, that's the shiloh. Do you have to wash again for tefillah? No. Do you have to wash again for Neigel Vasser? Yes. Now, here's the thing. If you're getting up 2.5 hours before davening, chances are you're going to go to the bathroom again before davening. So then you should probably delay the recitation of Netilas Yadayim until later. Why? Because according to the Rosh, your hands will be dirty, and we had in the Bir Halacha, according to the Rashba, even though you already became Berei Chadasha, but you could be Mesader, the Berachas Netilas Yadayim, with the other Berachas HaShachar. Fine. Beloy bracha. Says the Mishnah Berura. Hine nira, it would seem, that afilu mepama rishain, kishanata yadav, loy berach al netilas yadayim. If, let's say, the first time, when you washed your hands, you did not make netilas yadayim, mikol makam lo yivarech ata, don't make it now. De'ech yoymar v'tzivanu al netilas yadayim. How could you say v'tzivanu? Haloi kvar yotzi de'choy v'sanatila l'tvila l'das harash. The first time I washed, I already was yotzei according to the Rosh. Kamavoyer b'beis Yosef. Uchai gavna kosav l'elbashar tshuva sivkat and hey. So in other words, if I already washed my hands, and I did not say Netilas Yadayim the first time, you will not make it again the second time. Because I was already yotzei the Netilas Yadayim according to the Rosh. The correct thing is sheyavi atzma yedei of bracha. Bring yourself to obligation. The hainu sheyasa tzrachav koydem atfila v'yischayev levarach al netilas yadayim v'chana b'sivkat and daled b'shem achayadam. In other words, if you're getting up 3 hours before davening and you washed your hands the first time and you did not say netilas yadayim, you cannot say it the second time. However, what you should do is go to the bathroom before the second time and make netilas yadayim the second time. Now, let us see the Bir Halacha. Because if you're going to go to the bathroom the second time, how could you say the bracha according to the Rosh? I already washed my hands the first time, and I was yotzei the mitzvah, according to the Rashba. I was ready yotzei the mitzvah by washing the first time according to the Rashba. So the Bir Halacha says as follows: V'yit leim b'loy bracha. Ayin Mishnah Berura of Katan Lamed Gimel, that's the Mishnah Berura we just saw. B'mesha kosavti, in that which I wrote, the hanochain, that the correct thing is sheyave yisatzim v'dei chiyav, that you bring yourself to chiyav. V'lo yiksha lahama'ayin, it should not be difficult to the ma'ayin, the haloi l'choyra yistar masha kosam Sivkat and Lamed Beis. Doesn't that contradict what I said in Sivkat and Lamed Beis? V'hu midivrei Magen Avram, d'tzarach lachash l'shita sarajba. They have to be concerned for the shita of the Rashba, b'yashen shnas keva, that if you sleep a shnas keva, then we said that if you go back to sleep, you already became a Berei Chadash the first time. Umameilahu adin ba'asat tzrachav, the chadina lahu, kedemuchav el yarabas of katan tes. In other words, what the Bir Halacha is bothered by is as follows. We said that if a person goes back to sleep before Alois HaShachar, if you already washed Netilas Yadayim, you can't make a bracha the second time on the Netila, because we're choishesh for the shita of the Rashba that you already became a Bariach Hadasha. So if you said the bracha the first time, you can't say it again the second time. So then why don't we say the same thing here? It's very nice you went to the bathroom now, but I was already yotzei the mitzvah according to the Rashba the first time. That's the Bir Halacha's question. Meaning, according to the Rashba, that you only become a Bariach Hadasha one time, then how could you go to the bathroom a few hours after you get up and make a bracha? That would only help for the rush, but according to the Rashba, you already became a Bariach Hadasha. This is not similar to what the Achronim conclude in Sivkat and Lamed. That's if you didn't wash your hands at all. So you didn't wash your hands at all, then according to the Rashba, you could make a bracha later. The answer is, it's good. Because in our case, we're talking about the guy got up before Alois, he did not make a bracha, even though he washed his hands. And the Rashba would say, even though maybe you're yotzei the mitzvah, you could make the bracha later, because you're being mesader the bracha with the rest of the brachas hashachar. He says, you didn't make the bracha the first time. The Rashba would agree you could make a bracha now. And the bracha will be going on the Natila Rishayna that you did 2.5 hours ago. You did the Natila 2.5 hours ago. I can make a bracha now. The answer is yes. There's an idea you could be Masader Natila Yadayim with the rest of the brachas hashachar. But in Mishnah Berura Sivkat and Lamed Beis, where the guy woke up before Alois, he washed his hands, he made a bracha, he went back to sleep, he cannot make a bracha again, according to the Rashba. You should know further. That which Ramah says you wash with that bracha, it's not like he says in Sif Yud Gimel, V'yitlein b'loy bracha. Why? In Sif Yud Gimel, you wash without a bracha. It's talking about a guy who stayed up all night. So according to the Rashba, you make a bracha. According to the Rush, you don't make a bracha. So in Sif Yud Gimel, it's Safik brachis lahakel, and that's why you don't make a bracha. In our Sif, you don't make a bracha l'kulei alma, because you already were yotzei the mitzvah sai according to the Rush and sai according to the Rashba. The hasam rag mak masafik v'hacha l'kulei alma leitzarch levarich. Let's do one more Sif. Sif Tesvav. Yashin Bayoim. Rabbi Sai, this is a very typical case. You're at a shir, and within moments you're out cold. It happens, especially if the Maggid shir is good, then a good Maggid shir should try to do chesed to Klal Yisrael and give them a good nap at any time. So, Sif Tezvav, Yashin Me'im, someone sleeps during the day, Yesh L'stapik Im Tzarech L'Aros Ma'am Alim Shalosh Pa'amim. There's a suffix whether you need to wash Neigel Vasser. What do? V'yitlein b'loy bracha. You wash them without a bracha. Again, not because of a suffix in the bracha. For sure you don't make a bracha. What's the suffix? Says the Mishnah Berura, Yesh L'stapik. I Laila Goyim L'Ruach HaTama Ishenagram. Does the night cause it, or sleep? Do you have to be makbid not to walk 4 amos before you wash Neigel Vasser in the day? No. According to the Eshav Rambuchach. Says Reb Chaim Kanievsky, put Neigel Vasser by your bed. But again, even those who are makbid to keep it by their bed, there is definitely ma lismoich not to be makbid during the day. Do you have to be makbid not to touch food? Reb Chaim says yes. Excuse me, no, I did not say that correctly. Everybody agrees you don't have to be makbid not to walk dalet amos. Do you have to be makbid not to touch your ears, nose, and mouth? The Eshav Ram is lenient. Reb Chaim Kanievsky is makbid. Regarding touching food, Reb Chaim Kanievsky is makbid. Regarding walking dalet amos, no, you don't have to be makbid. Says Mishnah Berura, V'dafka hayoshin shitin nishmi. This is only if you sleep 60 breaths. Aval pachas, if you sleep less than this, in ruach rashar afil ba'layla. The ruach ra does not reside even in the night. So the question is, how much is shitin nishmin? That we're going to see tomorrow. It ranges anywhere between 3 minutes, 30 minutes, 3 hours. I believe we hold it's 30 minutes. That's what the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch says. So if you sleep for 10 minutes, probably you don't have to wash your hands. We'll see about that tomorrow. Thanks everybody for joining. Have an amazing day. Probably many of you know that we're starting a campaign now for our new Beis Midrash and Torah Center. If anybody could be mishtatef in the campaign, we'd really appreciate it. Really, the best way, if you would perhaps consider making a team page, it would be a very big boost for us. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day. If anybody needs information, you can message me or go to our site. Bracha v'atzlacha, kol tov.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.